I love to talk about finding your direction, follow your joy. After loss, after rupture, after breakup, after anything that feels heavy, a binge, you feel lost. I felt lost after. I'm supposed to find a direction. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do right now? And then human design would help me understand that according to my design, I'm here to respond and in the moment, so I don't have a clear path planned forward. I need to engage and respond. So that's cool. By responding to what? Follow your joy. Okay, sometimes I didn't even have access to my joy. I know it's there. And that's where I weave in the eating disorder also, because I realized that guilt is blocking my joy. It doesn't want me to access the joy. And I realized all the things that I actually love, I feel guilty about it. And a lot of those things kind of need to happen anyway, so I still do it, but I feel guilty while doing it. And that kills the enjoyment. And that's why I need more and more and more, and I'm always like super focused on it, the same way that if you're eating something you like, let's just be generic, a cake, and you think you shouldn't, and you're feeling guilty about eating it, then you're not enjoying it while you're eating it. And likely you'll need more to feel satisfied because you're not present with it. So that, to me, I realized, where are the things I feel guilty about? What are the things I've realized that all the things I actually love that were linked to the eating disorder also are things that I feel guilty about. So now I thought, okay, I get it. Follow your joy. Okay, well, I feel guilty. I feel like I don't have access to the joy. Okay, well, let's play with it. How about I follow the guilt then? Where do I feel guilty in my life that would maybe points me towards my joy? So today I'm like, what am I do today? What am I feeling guilty about doing or wanting to do or loving to do this morning? And that's exciting because look at me, I'm like thinking about it. I'm thinking about what do I feel guilty about, and I'm like smiling. And I don't think it's just because it's like rebellious. I mean, sure, we can play that because that's kind of fun. It's like being rebellious against my own systems, internal system rules, my own rules, internal rules. But I think it's because I'm accessing the joy, actually. I'm like thinking about those things that I feel guilty about, and I'm accessing the joy. I'm feeling guilty about maybe painting all day. I'm feeling guilty about making maybe a new recipe. I'm feeling guilty about exercising. Because for once, and this is very personal to me, but once in my life, all the things that were touching the eating disorder were labeled as bad. It was bad that I took care of myself by doing yoga and, waking up early to go swimming, and as a teenager, or doing exercise every day, which, yes, as I've shared before in another video, yes, it did become rigid at some point, but ultimately they were all things I loved doing. That I pushed too far, sure, but I love doing it, and they became all bad. It's like, Julianne, stop doing this, stop doing that, and stop thinking about biking, and so now I got this ingrained in me after a while that I should feel guilty about taking care of my body in this way, and it's like I internalize everything. Then that means that unconsciously, that means that everything I do that I love, I shouldn't, because it's probably bad. So following the guilt to find the joy, to find love, what I love, and to find direction in my day. And it's possibly a very specific thing to either my personality or my human design. I'm a generator, sacral. And so there's a lot of responding in the moment. Some people I know plan a lot ahead and it works for them. And I do love some planning and I need some structure also. But it's also finding the direction is not so much like, I mean, it's all different for different people, but I also have other undefined centers in my chart that makes it that a sense of identity is not fixed, for example. So there's not like one formula for everyone, but I guess I'm just explaining one way of doing it, which for me is going to be I need to engage with things that I'm excited about and see what kind of doors it's opening, and that will give me my direction. And maybe the door is closing. All right, we're turning around, and maybe that's a little bit of how I see, or maybe it is how I see a breakup also. It's a door closing. It's a door closing. How do I redirect myself? There's a door closing in your face. Okay, can I take that as information? If I want to take that as rejection and abandonment, which I did and sometimes still do, that's my choice. But it's also not just my choice, like deal with it, but it's also my choice as in, that means that it wants to be, like it's I truly believe in if it's coming up, it's because it wants to come out. So let it come out. Don't stay stuck in the story of like, feel the rejection. Like, I feel the rejection. I feel rejected right now. Because blah, 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 which can be useful at some point. But for me, at some point, it wasn't useful to always find the meaning and the why behind. It was just about being with it. Because when I find the meaning behind a story, it stays stuck in my body. It's not coming out. It's stuck there. As soon as I start with the stories of what it means and why it's happening, what it means about me, then the feeling, like I'm not feeling anymore in my head. So the feeling stay whatever it was. Maybe it's going up a little bit, like it's coming out a little bit at a time too. That's great. That's fine. Like, maybe we don't want it to come out all at once. Maybe we're not ready at some point for that. Maybe one day we'll be ready. Who knows? But the point being, like, finding that direction through engaging in the world, one step at a time, seeing what opens, what closes. And it feels like tedious a little bit. Like, yeah, I wish I could just plan it and just go for it. Maybe I can do that too. And there's probably both, that's possible, but I feel like it's also about making those little actions that are really consistent, but that keeps me moving, so that every day I do a little something and I get some information that I can respond to and pivot. So I went from talking about guilt, blocking the joy, so let's follow the guilt, to find direction. And then after that, it's the art of pivoting, with being like gracefully pivoting. Yeah, let's call it gracefully pivoting, without making stories, or make those stories, but feel like, just let the sensation come and let yourself feel the guilt or the rejection, and keep walking hand in hand with rejection. It's fine. You can be in this body rejection. It's fine. Why? Because it's not true that you're rejected. It's not true. And my survival is not threatened right now. And I know that. So finding direction through feelings, the sensation in my body. Where's the guilt? Okay. What is it about? Okay. Let's try this. And maybe I'll be painting and feel guilty the whole time. Well, that's okay too. Can we just make everything okay that's in our body? Would be a new way than finding meaning in stories. So let us be guided by our bodies, and if it's under the form of guilt for now, that's going to be guiding us, maybe that's okay. And maybe the more it's okay, the more we'll be able to connect to joy directly. And I feel very joyous about thinking about that. And I feel excited to be playing with guilt. Also, like, it's like a game. It's like, all right, guilt. Maybe I'm not as afraid of you as I thought. Let's play. I'm gonna follow you a little bit.